Welcome to this new video in Google Sheets. What am I going to do today? Today, I'm going to query my data right here based on a column, and this column will be based on what is selected using a checkbox. So what do I mean? I'm going to insert here boxes. So if the checkbox for Africa is selected, I want my query function to run through and select Africa. If it is America, run through, select America, and so on. So I'm going to take it step by step so that we understand what's going on. Before we do the complicated things, let's first do the easy parts. I've done a video on query functions in Google Sheets. If you want to view that video for more basics on how the query function works, please watch the video in the description below. So the way the query function works, the first argument is the data right there. If I do this, the first argument is the data. So I want my range to run up to down. So I deselect the 7, comma, my second argument is the query itself. What do I want to select from this data set? What I want to select everything from that data set. The other one is optional. Don't mind about that, and press enter. So when I do that, it selects all the data from this data set to this. This is not what I want. I want to select based on a region which is in column A. So in that case, what I do is I put the where clause. So where means it is going to base on the condition. Now I'm basing on the region, and the region is in column A. So the way we specify to Google Sheets which column we are to base on is to type the A right there and say when any value in A equals to Africa, please return for me data for Africa. So I'll do like so, press enter, and you see that only Africa is selected. If I want Europe, I'll go in there and type Europe, and as you can see, Europe data will be selected. So I don't want time to go in there and type there, but I want all that to be controlled by checkboxes. Depending on which checkbox I click on, the data for that corresponding region will be filtered and displayed in here. So to do that, let's first put the checkboxes, and to insert checkboxes, you highlight the cells where you're going to put your checkboxes, like I've done so. Go under insert, run down, you will see checkbox, click on that, and you'll have your checkboxes right here. And the good thing about these checkboxes is you will observe that when I click on this checkbox, the value true is displayed in the formula bar. When I uncheck that, false is displayed there. Why am I telling you about this? This is important because our next function are going to depend on this value right there. So the question will be, how will my query function know that Africa checkbox has been selected and therefore filter out Africa data from this large data set, or America or Asia or else, anything else? So to do that, I'm going to create another cell here, which will return the name of the continent based on what is selected here. So to achieve that, I'm going to use the ifs function. And the way the ifs function works is that you give it a condition. If it is true, it returns the value, the first value. Condition 1, value 1. If condition 1 is true, it returns value 1. If it is false, it will go to the next condition 2. If condition 2 is true, it returns value true, and so on. So in our case, if this one is true, comma, of course, I can type here equals true, but that one is the same as leaving it as so. If that is true, what do I want to be returned here? I want Africa to be returned. If K2 is true, comma, I want America. I hope you get the idea. If it is K4, comma, I want Asia. And if is K5, comma, I want Europe to be returned right there. And anything else, if nothing else, anything else that is true, I want an empty space. So if anything here is not ticked, it will return an empty space. This is what the last condition is all about. So having done that, let's test whether our if function is working. When we click on Africa, you see Africa right there. America, it looks like it is working as expected. So the next thing here we're going to do is, instead of hard coding this, we are going to reference our cell right there. So I put double quotes, then n%, then say J1, where my cell is J1, n%, I'm joining that to that with an equal sign. So because this is an empty space, this one returns empty. When A is empty, it returns nothing right here. So let's see whether it is going to work. If we click on Africa, Africa gets displayed in this. Our query function depends on this, and Africa data is selected. So if I select America, America is displayed here, and the data for America is queried and placed in this space. So you can see it works as expected. Now, if you click all of them, the first checkbox it finds, it will be true, and it will not pick out the others. And why that one is so is because that's how the ifs function works. So the moment the if function meets a true, it will stop there and will not run the next, check the next conditions. So if it finds Africa K2 is true, it will not check the rest. It will just display Africa, and our query function will be run based on that. To prove that, if I uncheck Africa, it will go by the first item, which is America, and again, to find Africa, condition for Africa false, then it leaves that, goes to America, finds America is true, it will run America, and so on. So that's how this one operates. The first one it finds true will be true. In a later video, more advanced, I'll see how to have grouped checkbox so that at any point in time, there's only one checkbox which is selected. Or better still, we can look at another example where if we want data for 2 items to display for those 2, but that will be for a much later advanced video. In this video, I wanted to show you the basics. The other thing I want to show you is that now we did all this and we used J1 as our control cell. However, you can also decide and say, okay, I'm not interested in this J2. So if you're not interested in J2, just copy this formula there. And what you do, go to your query function right here where this J2, replace that with what was in cell J2. And there you go. So let's check. When there's nothing, you can see there's nothing. If I click Africa, Africa is displayed. So America is displayed. Now, given that everything is working as expected, I can delete what is in J2, and my query function now depends on these checkboxes direct. So you can remove your J2 like so. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and have a great day.